Oh boy. Well, let's discuss Dead by Daylight again because I like bad video games. Yeah, maybe I don't like this one. I just play it because, well, I don't know. This is something addicting about it. Um, I mean, it's not particularly a game I'd play for hours though, but it's a game I've, you know, played a lot, I guess. But there's just one thing about the game that I just bothers me so much, and that is just the way they just handled what is quite possibly like one of the greatest like horror franchises that they got in this game that's represented here. They got a Nightmare on Elm Street. No boy, they got the worst one. It's absolutely horrendous what they did. Um, this is like arguably the worst chapter ever released. I'd go as far as to say it's worse than Tools of Torment, because at least with Tools of Torment, it's an original chapter. It's a bunch of nobodies you never heard of, so there's not really much offense to be had there aside from a not so particularly scary killer that fits the game. But you know, I digress. This chapter, on the other hand, is Freddy Krueger. For God's sake, Freddy Krueger. Like, this guy is the king of horror. I know people say Michael Myers, but Freddy, Freddy, just Freddy takes the cake for me. He's always been the Mario of horror from my point of view. And of all of the franchises that's represented in this game, I think he's the one that has affected me the most. And to see him in such a state, it just rots me to the core, because I don't like what they did here. Starting off is the power. His power is horribly designed. It's just generic, uninspired, and it's just boring to use. It's boring. It's too easy to use, and you just don't gain anything from it. It just doesn't feel rewarding. It's a mishmash of powers that already exist, and they just combined it into one messy slop. It doesn't feel great to use. He has these tools that could make him such a strong, viable killer. They're bad the way they did it. He's got mobility, but like he doesn't get it at the start. He just has to wait like a certain amount of time. There's no way to evade that. You have to wait to use the mobility. And once the exit gates are done, and once the generators are done, you cannot use it anymore. It's just, wow. It's awful. Not even that, but the dream world. The dream world, it means it doesn't feel like anything here. It's just a filter. It's just a filter. You get nothing from it. It doesn't, you don't feel a presence from it. It's just a filter. Yeah, sure, his powers work and you can get affected by snares, but who cares? That's the only thing that's different. That's the only thing that's different. Nothing else. It's just that. The rework is honestly one of the biggest regrets that the community, myself included, has ever had to go through, because it's just like, Jesus. They could have done something great with his power, because Freddy is a character with so much potential. You could go wild with his powers because of the just overall nature of his character. But what Behavior did is they went with like the lamest powers you could possibly give him, and it's not interesting. It's just pools of blood. The only thing that actually fits his character is the projection. Like, it actually feels like Freddy in the sense that he's playing with his victims' hopes, and it's turning their hopes against them, because it's a generator. A generator is one of the things in the game that lets the survivors escape and survive. But you know, him just making it spew blood and him just like physically manifesting through it, it adds a layer of fear to it. And well, a fear you can't really feel in this game, but you know, it makes sense for his character though. And yeah, he uses like blood pools in the movies and stuff, but like the way they work there actually feels more threatening than here. Like here, it just slows you down, but in the films, you get stuck in it. You start to sink. But even then, I don't think I would have wanted that for Freddy's power. It's like I would have preferred something more interesting. And something that like actually like, you know, plays into his strategies in the films, because he toys with his victims, he mocks his victims, he plays with their hopes and dreams and their fears and uses it to fuel his sadism. You don't get that here. It's just, I'm gonna summon a pool of blood and I hope you step in it. It's boring. Yeah, there's the dream palace, but they're not really any better. They don't really do anything. They're useless. I mean, it makes sense for his character more than Stairs, but they're not as reliable. They do nothing. It's quite lame, you know? But, you know, at the end of the day, his power is just, it's generic, it's boring, it's wasted potential there. I think his power before the rework was way more unique and interesting. As it's coming from someone who's actually got the, you know, experience playing it. And I think, and it's you know, it's unfortunate you people like cried and cried because you thought his power was bad and useless. But like, if he was in the games today, I think it would have been, you know, way more appreciated. But you know, now let's get to the biggest offense about this chapter, and that is Freddy's lack of personality. Like, this is Freddy Krueger, for God's sake. He's got an established personality. He has memorable quotes. But here he's nothing. He doesn't feel like Freddy. He's just some empty shell. He's just a guy with like finger knives and a fedora. But that's pretty much that's the only resemblance to Freddy have. Yeah, they reference the OG franchise with like his power icon, his stand, like his pose. I don't know, the voice actor tried to imitate Robert Englund's voice, I could tell. But there's no voice lines. He doesn't speak. He doesn't speak aside from like some laughs here and there. It's just, you know, though it is worth it's worth noting that he was released during a time where behavior was very protective of its like player base. They didn't want to alienate foreign speakers by letting killers speak specific languages. But like, obviously they don't stand by that anymore. They're giving killers, you know, their own unique personalities and voice lines. Like, for God's sakes, William Birkin has voice lines, but Freddy doesn't. Like, that says a lot. Stupid. But, you know, behavior really needs to do something about Freddy in this game. Get Robert Englund on board. Get him on board. I know he said he retired from acting as Freddy, but like he never specified in what sense, you know. Like, he only said he retired from acting as Freddy, but he never specified what. Like, did he retire from like physically acting as him or voice acting? Like, I doubt voice acting. I think he could still do it. I think he still has it in him. But you know, it's only a matter of time till they can't get him anymore. And take that as you will. But behavior. I hope with like the update, they will try and like add more to Freddy in the game. He needs the Robert Englund voice lines. He needs a new reworked power that actually makes him fun, unique, and maybe like some more depth. Because there is no depth to his power. He has like the least depth out of any killer in this game. Fucking Xenomorph looks more interesting to play than he does. And, you know, it's quite tragic. Like, this is Freddy Krueger. This is like arguably the biggest license they have. I think the only license they have that comes close to being as iconic is Michael Myers. And I know some people say Michael Myers is more iconic, but Freddy just has way more to him. Like, he stands out way more in pop culture, in my opinion. He's got the personality, he's got the looks, he's got the knife, he's got the weapon. hopefully to get Robert Englund's likeness, his voice, a new power that actually makes it feel unique and like Freddy. At the end of the day, he deserves better. He deserves better because what they did here, especially the fact that it's a 2010 Freddy and no one likes a stinky 2010 film. It should start hopefully to get some extra negotiations and stuff, and try and get the OG franchise. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. So thanks for watching.